If you've driven anywhere in Brentwood, Tennessee, chances are you have driven past this home and it probably caught your attention. It's really hard to miss. It is very much of a Biltmore looking estate, but it was actually patterned after the Westbury Mansion, and instead of being in that whole Industrial Revolution era, this home was built in 2000. So it's only about 25 years old, but it is located on Concord Road, which is basically a main vessel between Brentwood, Franklin, Nashville, Nolensville. If you're traveling to and from any of those areas, chances are you've used Concord Road and it took you right past this home. This gated estate is something that when you drive by, you wonder what the inside is going to look like. Worry no more about that. We're taking you inside to tour every square inch of this 15,000 square foot estate. I'm Erika Kurre with the Living in Nashville channel. Come with me as we take a look inside. This home is 2 stories with an entry foyer here. You can hear my voice echoing. Marble floors. Everything is very poured concrete, but you've got a lot of craftsmanship and detail, very much inspired by a European design. And that was very intentional. The people who built this home really wanted it to have a European flair, and they really wanted you to be able to walk in and feel like you were in something that is not like anything else. And I will tell you, I have toured dozens, probably hundreds of homes here in Middle Tennessee, and I have never been through a home quite like this. I have toured through historic antebellum homes, the mansions that a lot of people come as tourist attractions that just pale in comparison to some of the design and the detailing that you'll find in this home. And let's keep walking through. As you walk in past this entry foyer, you walk up a couple of steps into this great room. This great room, you can see the pillars, floor to ceiling windows. This is one of several fireplaces in this house, and the chandelier is obviously something of note as well, with just dozens of candle light bulbs on it. You can see it draws a lot of attention to the coffered ceiling up there that has detail in every square of the coffered design. And then this mantle and fireplace just with the mirror, and then coming down to the gas down at the very floor level. Let me walk over next to it just so you can have some comparison on how tall this is. I am 5'7". So just this part of the fireplace is probably almost 6 feet, probably a little more than 6 feet. And then as you can see, it goes up probably about 4 times, 5 times my height beyond where I'm standing. And this is a home that is very much known for its entertaining. A lot of governors have hosted balls here. A lot of celebrities have had parties. There have been a lot of fundraisers, and there actually is a ballroom on this property for just such an event. But this home also has been a central hub for a lot of those high-profile, prestigious guests that may have come to tour Middle Tennessee. You can see the second story here. We've got a Juliet balcony coming out of one of the bedrooms upstairs, and there are 3 bedrooms with a bonus room upstairs. You've got surround sound speakers throughout this house. This house certainly designed for entertaining. Right off of that great room space, then you've got this large kitchen and beautiful morning sunlight pouring through these 3 sets of windows and a set of doors here in the breakfast nook, and marble floors throughout this home. That's very much of a consistent theme in this house. You've got the granite countertops, and then a lot of the cabinetry, built-in finishes, built-in wood, 6 burner cooktop stove. This home built 25 years ago, it likely has not been updated much, if at all, in this 25 years. But, it is something, though, that still by today's standards is very luxurious. I imagine whoever buys this home will end up wanting to try to update it and put a more modern flair to it. The crown molding hand-painted design on that crown molding. You've got a lot of, inset lights, the recessed can lights that we've got in here. And you'll notice throughout this home too, see this window here in the kitchen? It actually overlooks another part of the home, which is more of the family room den space. And this is very much a recurring design throughout this home, windows overlooking other rooms that lead to the outdoors. There are 2 sets of stairs that go upstairs in this home, but before we take you to the upstairs level where there are 3 bedrooms, let's finish up with this downstairs level and take you to the other side of where those kitchen windows were. This is a family room, just basically a rec room space. I imagine if you lived in this home, your TV would be against this wall over the fireplace there where you can see the brackets already exist. You've got an entire wall of windows, and this is a really long room. This is a space where not only would you have your sofa, your veg, your comfortable things for a family living space, but then you've got some space back here maybe for a pool table or other entertainment. Now coming back into the dining space of the house, we've got this working pantry over here, a scullery where you can not only store food but prepare it. This is more of the prep space, prep area for a formal event. And then speaking of formal events, this dining room features another fireplace with a large chandelier and plenty of space for a large table. This is really just a smaller table that you would expect in this size of a room. You can get so many more guests in here, which I imagine in practical uses of this home, you would have a larger dining room table and a lot more guest seating for a more formal dining event here. And then as we turn back around and come back through, this is the front stairway that is on the opposing side of the house that takes you up the more formal route to the upstairs bedrooms. But before we get to those 3 bedrooms upstairs, let's head back across the great room to the primary bedroom, because that bedroom has an entire wing to itself, and it is quite a sight to see. And as you go back in toward that primary bedroom space, let's go first to this private space. This would be more of like an office. This is a space that you don't invite a lot of guests to. This is more of a private room for someone to have their office work, anything work related, things that they maybe handle privately without it being a formal event. This is more of what you would use this type of a room for. And then across the hall, leading to even more private space, is the primary bedroom. Coming in from the hallway then, you enter the primary bedroom suite with a wet bar in this waiting space. Now this is the space where you would likely have a sofa or a lounge seat underneath this mirror, a TV here. Maybe this is where the husband waits while the wife gets ready for the ball. But you enter then through this door, double doors into this bedroom suite. This is the primary bedroom suite. You've got plenty of room for a king-size bed. You've got this large chandelier with a rotunda in here, it looks like. And then you've got obviously plenty of space on the walls for dressers, everything else. This wood floor looks to be some sort of a cherry wood or maybe even a pine wood floor with a herringbone pattern, which really wasn't very common 20 years ago. So it's very impressive that they had this sort of foresight with design 20 to 25 years ago. But very, very executive feeling. You've got a lot of private separation in spaces to be able to really have a luxury lifestyle in this home. You enter from the primary suite into this bathroom suite. First thing you see obviously is the tub. You've got separate vanities and a chandelier in here as well. You're noticing a recurring theme, mirrors on all the walls. And there are a couple of different sets of closets in this home, as you would expect. You've got a closet in the entryway, but then a closet off over to the side of the tub, and then another side. This would be probably his side of the bathroom. Perhaps the most impressive part of this executive wing is this closet off of the east side hallway. Come on in. This might be the largest closet I have ever been in my life. And that's no exaggeration. Plenty of room in here for all your clothes, dresses, anything that you might need to store for your winter, your summer wardrobes. It really is the main closet for this primary suite, even though there were small closet spaces, and when I say small, they're not small, but they were smaller than this, where you might store some of your smaller items. This is where the larger bulk of the dressing happens and a larger bulk of the storage for your clothing takes place. Your shoes, you've got an entire 2-story wall for shoe storage right here. And this window that you see over here beyond this chandelier, this is the window that peeks out from where the bathroom is. Coming up the grand staircase from the front foyer, this is the main staircase to the house. You can see how well built it is, how thick this staircase is. Every single thing in this home is solid, and it's rumored that the entire frame of this home is steel, not the typical wood that you would typically see in a house. This catwalk is quite a feature in itself, overlooking the great room, the large fireplace, the chandelier, and the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the courtyard out back. You have so many features up here. I can just imagine hosting an event. You've got a big entertainment event, a fundraiser, a lot of people in your home, and this in itself, this space right here, would be a gathering place. And if you turn around and you go past this Juliet balcony from one of the bedrooms, we will go in there in just a second, but first let's check out this bonus space. This is another entertainment space in the house. You've got the stone walls, another chandelier, and a fireplace with very much of a European flair as well. You've also got doors that go to a roof access and a dry bar over to the left side of this room. And this room is another room large enough for entertainment space. You could have a pool table in here, any type of, card tables, things like that. Or again, just another space for people to stand and socialize and be able to possibly even conduct business and talk while they're in here. In this hallway space, then, we've got this Juliet balcony, which overlooks the great room area. And then you've got the back stairway leading to the kitchen. That's the access point for the kitchen stairs. And this first bedroom then upstairs is tucked away back toward the back of the house. Entering into this first bedroom upstairs, you've got the bay window area, basically with all the natural light coming in. Of course, as you guessed, another chandelier in this room overlooking the backyard. And then this home with this bedroom has an ensuite. As you come around the corner then to the additional 2 bedrooms, this side of the house is where you'll find those. They each have their own bathroom, and I'll let you walk through those. And that wraps it up for the inside of this 10,000 square foot home. This is the main house that you would see from Concord Road. But here in the backyard, you've got 4.5 acres of private space with a manicured courtyard. Every inch of this property is just so well maintained. And it leads then, this walkway, this pathway back here leads to a grand ballroom. And entering this grand ballroom, this is an event space that has been used for political candidates, for entertainers, for fundraisers. Huge ceiling, plenty of space for dancing. You've got to the right here 5 bathrooms. You've got a hallway, 2 bathrooms with 5 stalls in it, and then to the left is a prep kitchen. And you can see that on both sides of these wings, there's upstairs space as well for a lot of just lounging and the more casual, more intimate social gathering. If you thought the ballroom was the grand finale, there's actually a couple thousand square feet left to show you of this home. There is a guest house just upstairs from this 3-car garage. Coming up the winding staircase from the garage, then you have this guest house. It's basically a studio apartment up above the 3-car garage with the kitchen. You've got your great room area, and then it goes over into the bedroom space with a full bath. The balcony of this home overlooks the yard and the backyard. This is basically the area between the main house and the ballroom. Altogether, you have toured through 15,000 square feet of living space on this 4.5 acres. This home last sold in the multi-millions, north of $6 million. And it really is quite an estate where you're pretty much getting a huge bang for your buck. $6 million in Williamson County is higher than the average home in Williamson County. Our median home price and average are between $1.2 and $1.3 million. And so this is a multiple of our average home around here, and it really is a lot more appointed and just extravagant than what you would expect to find in Brentwood, Tennessee, and elsewhere in Williamson County. I'm Erika Kurre, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Living in Nashville. A little bit outside of the box for what we normally do, but so fun to mix it up and be able to show you a variety of things on what you could find here in Middle Tennessee. Go ahead and reach out to me if you're planning a visit here to look for houses. You're thinking about moving here to Tennessee, Middle Tennessee. I'd love to show you around. I live in Williamson County. I specialize in Williamson County, but I serve all of Greater Nashville. My contact information is below, and I'd love to meet with you next time you're in town and show you around.